Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. How's your week?
It was uh, good.
Okay. Did you work today?
No, today was my free day.
It was your day off?
Yes, was my day off.
You only have one day off per week?
No, actually, I have 2 day off, Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay. Wednesday and Thursday.
No, Tuesday and Wednesday. Sorry.
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yes.
But it's a good thing that your days off are on weekdays, no? Because like if you need to go to the bank or like go to an office, like a government office, it's gonna be open.
Yes, that's the advantage.
Mm-hmm. And where do you work?
I'm working in a hospital that calls um, Real San Jose.
Oh, okay. I know which one. There are two, right? Or is Lázaro Cárdenas? Is that the one?
Yes, in that place I work.
In that site.
In
Well,
that
very good. Hi, Maricruz. Good evening.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing very good. What about you?
Oh, very well. It's
Hmm?
a really good week, middle of the
Oh,
week.
yeah?
So,
I know. Did you work today?
oh yes, I worked, and I been working in a new medical. I hope how can I say private una clínica privada.
Like a private clinic? A private hospital?
Yes, private clinic. It's
Okay.
relaxed. Sometimes it's hard, but it's okay. It's a good rhythm.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Excellent. So let's get started. Well, as you see on the presentation, here's our agenda. Now, today we're going to focus on structure and reading. And as we've been working, I'm going to show you some structure strategies. Then we're going to do some structure practice. And we're going to finish with some reading, general reading tips, reading strategies. And we're going to do a reading practice as well. Okay? I'm going
Okay.
to turn off my camera to get better connection. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so let's go to the first tip in regards to structure. Now, we're going to learn about appositives. Now, appositives are part of sentences, and they could cause confusion when we're answering exercises that contain this because they can be confused or mistaken for the subject of the sentence. Like this one. It says, we have a blank space, and then we have George is attending the lecture. Now, in this case, the correct answer would be my friend. My friend George is attending the lecture. Let's see another example. We have a blank space that we need to fill in with one of these ones. And then it says, Sarah rarely misses her basketball shots. Now, what do you think would be the correct answer here? What do you think? An excellent basketball player, comma Sarah.
I
Letter
think
B.
the letter A.
Letter A.
Letter A. An excellent basketball player, comma. Sarah rarely misses her basketball shots. An excellent basketball player is Sarah. That wouldn't make sense. Sarah is an excellent basketball player. You're correct. It's letter A. Now, appositives, when in the middle of the sentence, they are between commas and always follow a noun, like this one, George. If you see, it's between commas. We have a comma here. We have one over here. Now let's do this practice. Now usually the sentence could follow this structure. I will have my subject, comma, the appositive, a really good mechanic, between commas, and then my predicate, the verb. Or could be that the appositive is at the beginning of the sentence, a really good mechanic, comma, Tom is fixing the car. Okay? So for these sentences, read them and on a piece of paper, just number them and write if the sentence is correct or incorrect. Now, if the sentence is incorrect, then we're going to talk about why it is incorrect. Like this example, number 1, it says, the son of the previous owner, comma, the owner is undertaking some fairly broad changes in management policy. This is correct because I have a complete sentence. I have a subject and my verb with my predicate. Number 2, incorrect. Why? It says, last semester, comma, a friend graduated cum laude from the university. Now, this sentence is incorrect because here, last semester, does not really describe the friend. It would be maybe, and we would need another noun or a different word that makes sense with the sentence. Okay? Good. So go ahead, continue with the rest of the sentences and just write I for incorrect or C for correct. Now, if you're finished, please share your answers in the chat. Okay, let me share the correct answers. These are the answers so you can check. Now, if you see number 4 is incorrect because it's missing a subject. It could be, the subject could be Mr. Smith, the chief officer, the executive officer, something similar. Number 7 is also missing a subject. That's why it's wrong. Now, the subject could be the electric heater, the wall heating unit, the heater. And number 9 is incorrect because it's missing a comma. Let's go to the next tip. Now, it is very common to confuse present participles. Now, present participles are the ing form of a verb. Now, this could be confusing because sometimes they are part of a verb or sometimes they are an adjective. Now, if the ing form is not accompanied by any form of the verb be, then it's an adjective. Let's see this exercise. I thought I had, no, there. Now, again, identify the sentences and indicate if the sentence is correct or incorrect. For example, number 1, it says the company's offering the lowest price. In this case, the present participle is an adjective. If you see, it doesn't have any form of the verb be before. Will have the most customers. This is a complete and correct sentence. Number 2, those travelers are completing, in this case, the ing form, the present participle is a verb. It's after a form of the verb be. That's how I know that it is a verb and an adjective. Their trip on Delta should report to gate 3. If you see, we have like double verbs. That's why the sentence is incorrect. And please send your answers when you're finished. Okay, I'm going to share the answers with you so you can compare. Now, if we see, exercise number 4 is incorrect because it has double verb, are giving and attract. Number 6 is incorrect because it also has double verb, was trying and was often interrupted. And number 9 is the same case. It's a double verb because it has were announcing and received. Similarly, we have past participles. They can be mistaken for a verb or an adjective in a sentence. Now, the past participle form, if we remember, when we studied like simple past and present perfect, we learned that verbs can have three forms: the base form, the simple form, the past form, and the past participle form. When the verb is regular, the past participle forms end with ed, but when the verb is irregular, they can have different forms in the past participle. Let's say, for example, the verb go. The verb go in the past form is went, but the past participle form is gone. Like write, we have wrote, past, and written, which is the past participle form. And this can also be mistaken for a verb or an adjective. Let's see an example. The family has purchased a television. In this case, the past participle form is a verb. The poem was written by Paul. Here, again, the past participle form of the verb is the action of the sentence, is a verb. But now let's see this one. It says the television purchased yesterday was expensive. Here, the past participle form is an adjective. The verb in my sentence is was, now purchased. Let's see this one. The poem written by Paul appeared in the magazine. In this case, the past participle written is an adjective. It is not the verb of the sentence. So we can say that if the past participle form is followed by a form of the verb be or a form of the verb have, it's a verb. Otherwise, it's an adjective. Okay, so let's do this example. And again, we're going to write I for incorrect sentence and C for correct sentence, like this one. Number one is incorrect. Let's see why. The money was offered, I know that here's a verb and not an adjective, by the client was not accepted. Yeah, this is incorrect because we have like two verbs in one sentence. So the answer is not correct. Let's look at number two. It says, the car listed in the advertisement had already stalled. In this case, the sentence is correct because listed in this case is an adjective. The verb is had already stalled. Okay? So answer the rest of the exercises and then we'll check the answers. And again, when you're finished, please share your answers and I'm gonna share the answers with you too. Oops, sorry, I lost connection for a while. Can you still see my presentation? Or not anymore?
Not anymore,
Not
teacher.
anymore.
Okay, I'm sorry. Here it is. Can we check the answers or do you need more time? Ready? Can we check? Are you all finished?
Yes, teacher, we can check.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna send the answers for this one. And let's see why these answers. Let's see. Number one, correct. Number two is missing a subject. Now, the possible subject could be she. She went. Number three has double verbs. It's incorrect. We have were grown and were harvested. We have two verbs. That's why it's wrong. Now, number six is missing a verb. Now, the possible verb could be is in the shopping mall. Is possible. Number eight is missing a subject, which could be he threw. And number nine has double subject. We have construction and it. That's why the sentence is wrong. Okay, let's continue with this one. It says choose a letter of the word or group of words that best complete the sentence. Okay, I'm going to the next slide. Share your answers when you're finished, please. Okay, let me share the answers to this one too. And here they are. Very good. Can we continue on the next one? Yes, you're finished checking. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, and this other tip or skill has to do with conjunctions. Now, the function of a conjunction is to join ideas, words, phrases, and ultimately clauses. Usually in TOEFL type of exams, we will find compound and complex sentences, which are formed by two clauses. Now, a clause is kind of like a sentence. It needs a subject and a verb. And I can join these clauses with conjunctions. Like if I would say, I went to the movies, yeah, that would be a simple sentence. I have a subject and I have a verb and I have a predicate. But I can also say that I went to the movies and okay, I went to the movies, but the show was sold out. In this case, I have one sentence that contains two clauses. Both clauses have a subject and a verb. And these clauses are joined with a conjunction, which is but. Okay? So as it says here, each clause needs a subject and a verb to be a complete clause and to be part of a compound or complex sentence. You need to make sure that the conjunctions follows logically. That if I'm going to use the conjunction but, I'm contrasting. If I'm using the conjunction or, I'm giving options and so forth. Like this one. Tom is singing and Paul is dancing. Here we have like a sequence. I'm adding information. That's why I use and. On the other hand, I have Tom is tall, but Paul is short. The conjunction but shows contrast. One in this is this way, the other one is in a different way. I'm contrasting information. I can also use or. Tom must write the letter or Paul will do it. I have options. Either Tom writes it or Paul writes it. Tom told a joke, so as a consequence, Paul laughed. Tom is tired, yet he's not going to sleep. This is very similar to but because it contrasts information. Now, usually in a sentence, I will have this structure. I have my subject and verb, which is my first clause. I have a coordinate connector, conjunction, in this case, but, and my second clause with a subject and a verb. She wanted to cry. Now, the coordinating connectors or conjunctions are and, but, or, so, yet. And all of this need a comma before. So I need to look for a comma, a conjunction, and another clause with a subject and a verb. Okay? Let's do this exercise. It says, number 1, the software should be used on a laptop computer, comma. I have here my first tip, remember? Look for a comma and a conjunction. And this computer is a laptop. This sentence is correct. Let's see number 2, the incorrect sentence. The rain clouds can be seen in the distance. I have my subject and my verb, comma, but no has fallen. Now this is an incorrect sentence because there's no subject. I only have a verb. I have no subject. It could be, but the rain has not fallen. It has fallen. Okay? I don't have a subject. Good. So use these two strategies, these two tips to find the comma and the conjunction and make sure that there's a subject and a verb on both sides of the sentence, in both clauses. Okay, I'm going to share the answers. And now this time, I like you to, let's take turns to figure out why the sentence is wrong, what's missing, what was wrong. Let's go with number 2, which is incorrect. But let's see why. Noemi, do you have any idea why this is wrong? Number 3, it's incorrect, but why?
Because I think there is not an connector there.
That's right, it doesn't have a connector. There's no conjunction. Let's see, number 4 is also incorrect. Angel, can you tell us why?
What, teacher?
Number 4 is an incorrect sentence. But can you tell us why? Why it's wrong?
Well, I think because no use on connector and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a link like
Correct.
and or but.
You're right. If you see, the connector is at the beginning. It should be in the middle, no? So the quality. So I changed the typewriter ribbon. Mhm. It's misplaced. Number 6 is also wrong. Now, do you know why, Maricruz, number 6 is wrong?
I select that it was correct, but mm,
Well, it's wrong. Could you see why it's wrong? Number 6?
probably because it's wrong. There is not the same subject.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. There's no subject in the second clause. We have yet is not close. It is not close. That would be the correct. And number 9 is also wrong. Now, Edel, do you know why?
Is because we don't have a connector.
Well, the connector is misplaced. It's in the wrong part of the sentence. But yeah, it has to do with the connector. And also, number 10 is incorrect. And in number 10, we don't have any connector. There is no conjunction. In this sentence, the connector could be so. Okay? Okay. So we're going to finish today's session with some general reading strategies. And on Saturday, today we're going to start with one specific one. And on Saturday, we'll continue with more specific reading strategies and more structure strategies. Okay?
Okay,
Okay,
teacher.
teacher.
So if you could please help me read, let's see. Eden, could you help me read this first slide? In general,
Yes, in general, do not spend too much time reading.
mhm,
Uh, do not worry if you are unfamiliar with the topic. Do not spend too much time on a question and guess to complete the section.
thank you. Now here in this second general tip, all the answers will be there in the text. So don't worry if you come across with a text about technology and that maybe you don't know much about technology, or maybe this is something related to mathematics and maybe you're not so familiar. All the answers will be on the text. Now, don't spend too much time on a question. If it's very difficult to find the answer, put a mark and then leave it there and come back later. Yes, don't waste precious time in some questions. And if you see that the time is running and you still have questions unanswered, well, try to guess. You will not get penalized for guessing, okay? Could be that you guessed the correct answer, but try not to leave any unanswered questions. Now, this will be like a typical procedure in a reading section. Now, Angel, could you help me read this one?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you.
Skim the text to determine main idea and structure. Look ahead in the questions to determine skills. Find the section of the passage. Read the part carefully and choose your answer.
Good. Now, there are some specific skills that you will require to develop or to work to get a good result. Now, some of those skills could be main idea. Maybe the question asks you to find the main idea. Like for main idea, read the first line. Usually, you will find it there in the first line of paragraphs. Now, sometimes you will get questions that require a direct or indirect answer. Now, in that case, I suggest to choose a keyword from the question and find that keyword in the text. Yeah, maybe they're asking for something related to a date. So I'll focus on the date and locate the date in the text. There's going to be questions related to pronouns. Like you would come to a question like, this pronoun, the pronoun here refers to what in the text? But the question will tell you exactly to what paragraph you need to go back to. Now, for transition type of questions, look at the beginning or end of paragraphs. You'll find the answers there. In vocabulary questions, the question itself will also to what paragraph you need to come back, and the answer will be on that paragraph. So there's no need to waste time in other paragraphs or to read very detailed. For where in the passage, check the four options. Sometimes they will say, where in the passage can you find recommendations for this and that? You need to make sure that the four options and discard them. You need to read them. And for tone, purpose, or course questions, read the first line of each paragraph. Usually the tips, the hints are there in the first lines when we talk about tone, purpose, or course. Now today, we're just gonna focus on main idea. There's usually always a question regarding main idea in reading sections. Now, how can you identify the question? Yeah. Usually, you're gonna get like this highlighted bold words in the question. What's the topic? What is the subject? What is the main idea? What is the main point of the author? What is the author primarily concerned? Or which of the following would be the best title? All of these questions relate to the broad message, to the main idea, main topic of the reading. Now, where to find the answer? As I mentioned before, the answer to this type of questions can generally be determined by looking at the first sentence of each paragraph. Now, how could you answer this question? Well, again, read the first line of each paragraph and then look for a common theme or idea in the first lines, in the first three lines maybe, And then pass your eye quickly, that is, skim over the rest of the passage to check that you have really found the topic sentence. The topic sentence, as it says, is a sentence that explicitly tells me the topic. And finally, eliminate any definitely wrong answers. Sometimes it will be very easy to discard wrong answers, and maybe at the end you will have two strong options. So, out of those two, using this strategy, eliminate the wrong one. Let's see an example. It says example from the TOEFL test, the paper version. The passage. Now, read it in silence or at home, wherever you are. If you want to read it aloud, that's also very good. Okay, if you see, the answer is already marked there. It says, what is the topic of the passage? Do you know what the word topic means in Spanish?
Yes, el tema.
That's right. What's the topic? What is all the text about? Is it education, biology, philosophy, mathematics, medications, etc.? So it's asking me like for the most general thing, what is the topic? Now, if you see there are some words that repeat, some ideas that repeat, like intelligence, reasoning, we see that the name of John Dewey is repeated. Yeah. So based on all of those hints, I can determine that the topic is how intelligence differs from reasoning in Dewey's work. Do you agree that this is the correct answer?
Yes.
Yeah, right? In this example, do you think that is easy to discard incorrect answers, or there are some confusing answers? No? Easy? Easy to discard?
I think it was easy because if we can check the lecture as a scanner, we can see the word intelligence and reasoning sometimes in the lecture. So
Mhm. Correct. And if you see, those words appear in the first line and they also appear later on. Okay? Let's see another example. And here the question is, what would be the best title? And again, the topic and the title are very related, are like the general, the super general aspects in a text. Okay? Now, whenever I have a text that has more than one paragraph, I should see the first lines of each paragraph so that I don't choose a wrong answer. Like in this case, this text about nitrogen. If I had only read the first paragraph, maybe I would have chosen the first answer, the process of nitrogen fixation. But if I see in the second one, it says the opposite process of dentification, then I know it's not only about nitrogen fixation, that it's about two processes related to nitrogen. That's why the correct answer is the second one, the nitrogen processes. Okay, let's do another one. Now here we have two questions. I have one paragraph with two questions. Number one, it's related to the topic, and number two is related to the title. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, now if you see number one, the correct answer is letter. What letter did you choose? A, B, C, or D?
I select letter C.
C, what about the rest? What do you choose?
I guess it's letter C too.
Letter C? Here we have the correct answer. If you see, it's like kind of marked. It's letter B. What about in number 2? Which of the following would be the best title for the passage? Which
I
one did
select I select letter B.
letter B, Fornox Security?
I guess it's letter C.
The correct is letter C, where the United States keep its gold. Let's do another one. Okay, and if you see, we have the answers marked. Number 3B, identifying minerals by a means of scratch test. If you see, the word scratch repeats throughout the text. And number 4, it says the main idea of the passage is that letter A. The hardness of a mineral can be determined by its ability to make a mark on other materials. Next one. Let's see. What do you choose in question 5? Does the text tell me how many hurricanes occur? What do you think? Yes or no? How many hurricanes occur each year? Does the text give me that information?
Yes, teacher.
Where?
About 5?
Well, from May through November, or exactly,
But just tell me exactly how many hurricanes occur each year? Not
eh,
really, right?
no, not really.
Mm-hmm. Does it tell me how strong they are? Well, if you see, it tells me here. But the winds are often much stronger. But the idea doesn't repeat in paragraph 1. So I have to look for keys that repeat. It says the passage mainly discusses, mainly means mostly, in general. Does it discuss the weather?
Not really.
Not really. So the correct answer would be letter D. And now question 6 says the best title for this passage would be, we have A, the North Atlantic Ocean. Yes, the text is related to the North Atlantic Ocean, but it doesn't really explain the characteristics of the North Atlantic Ocean or like the species that live there. Does it explain about the damage and destruction of hurricanes? Well, no, not really. It doesn't. So I can eliminate this one too. What happens from May through November? And that is mentioned here from May through November. However, that doesn't repeat in the second paragraph. That's why the correct answer is B. Storms of the Northern Atlantic. Okay, let's do this one. This is the last one. Okay, I'm going to share the answers through the chat. Now, question 7, it says, which of the following best describes the main idea? Now, to find the main idea, remember that I have to read the first line, the first sentence of each paragraph. Now, if I see paragraph 1, I have the author, he was a poet, and it says best known. Okay, so I know he was popular, best known. And then in the next paragraphs, if I skim quickly, I can see the names of the poems also mentioned in paragraph 1. I have some historical background. It explains what each poem is about, right? So I can conclude that the correct answer is C. The popularity of Longfellow's poems results from his stress on the values of the people. Now, number 8, the best title would be, now again, you need to like skim quickly, see what topics, what ideas repeat, and choose an answer. I know it's about Longfellow, the author. I know it's also about his poems. I know it explains um, how his poems became popular. Yeah, so from all of those ideas, I can determine that the text is about the lyric, dramatic, and narrative poems of Longfellow. Now, letter A cannot be the correct answer because not all the paragraphs talk about his popularity. It cannot be letter B because it's specifically about Longfellow's poems. So letter B will be discarded because this is too general. And letter D would also be discarded because critics are not mentioned in every paragraph. And finally, question 9 says, the subject of the fourth paragraph is, and again, letter C, the popular appeal of the courtship of Miles Standish. Do you agree? Does this make sense?
Yes, teacher.
Mhm. Excellent. Okay, so with this, we finish today's session. We'll continue working on reading strategies on Saturday and as well as structure. Have a very pleasant evening, and I'll see you on Saturday.
Thanks, teacher. See you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye. Thank you.